Let me tell you about the asylum no one dares to speak of. Ridgewell Asylum. Shut down in 1972. Officially? Funding cuts. Unofficially? Something went very, very wrong inside. In 2023, three urban explorers, Dylan, May, and Connor, decided to break in. They were thrill seekers. YouTubers chasing clicks. But what they found never made it online. The asylum sat on a hill like a rotting crown. Its windows were shattered, the gates chained. But May found a gap in the fencing, overgrown with vines. The second they stepped in, their equipment started glitching. Camera batteries drained. Connor's drone wouldn't lift off. Just static. They joked it off, laughed. But the air was different inside. Heavy, still, cold, even in July. First floor? Empty. Dusty beds, peeling wallpaper. Typical haunted aesthetic. But then they reached the west wing. It was sealed, bolted from the outside. Scratches on the metal door, deep like someone had tried to claw their way out. From the inside, Dylan managed to pry it open with a crowbar. Behind that door, a long hallway. Dark, no windows. At the end, a room with a single light still flickering overhead. No electricity in the building. So where was the power coming from? Inside that room were old steel gurneys. Leather straps still stained. Jars of cloudy liquid. Things inside those jars that didn't look quite human. May picked up a file off the desk. Patient hashtag 312B. No name. Just notes. Subject displays adaptive regeneration beyond clinical expectation. Memory resets every 12 hours. Vocal mimicry detected. Keep isolated. No mirrors. Wait. Why no mirrors? They didn't get to ask. Because at that exact moment, Dylan screamed. He was standing in front of a broken mirror. He said he saw someone else in the reflection. A woman. Dressed in hospital rags. Smiling. But not moving in sync. The weird part, none of them saw anything there. Except Dylan, who began to twitch. Just small spasms. At first, they thought he was having a panic attack. Until he spoke. In May's voice. Perfectly. Guys, we need to leave now. It wasn't him talking. He was smiling wide. Too wide. Like his face didn't know how to hold the expression right. Connor backed away. Maskre Ahmed. And Dylan, or whatever he had become, lunged at her. She ran. Connor followed. They turned a corner. And suddenly, they were back in the same hallway. Over and over again. Same scratched door. Same flickering light. Same empty gurneys. Same broken mirror. Except now, there were 4 shadows. But only 3 people. So who, or what was casting the 4th? They tried smashing the mirror. It didn't break. May took her phone out. Snapped a picture. That's when they saw it. In the image, behind them, a woman in a hospital gown. No eyes. No mouth. Just a dark smear for a face. And then, all lights went out. Silence. Connor never made it out. My deed. Alone. Sobbing, clothes torn, blood on her face that wasn't hers. Police said she was in shock. She wouldn't speak for weeks. When she finally did, she kept asking one thing. Did he follow me out? To this day, she says Dylan wasn't possessed. He was replaced. Swapped. Like the thing in the mirror learned him, and then became him. And Connor? Still missing. Officially, it's a cold case. But the footage from May's camera was recovered. Mostly corrupted. But there was one file. Only 7 seconds long. It showed Dylan staring into the mirror. Behind him, the reflection smiled. Before he did. And the last frame, the words carved into the wall. Mirrors lie. So now here's the question. If reflections can learn to mimic us, how do we know the people who come back are the same ones who went in? May's reflection, they say, still doesn't blink. And Ridgewell? It's still standing. Still humming with power, though it's not connected to any grid. So who, or what, is keeping the lights on? In the aftermath of Ridgewell Asylum's horrors, May's return was anything but a relief. She was found wandering the outskirts, bloodied and incoherent, clutching a shattered mirror fragment. The authorities dismissed her account as trauma-induced delusion. But the footage retrieved from her damaged camera told a different story. Investigator's voice. Subject exhibits signs of severe psychological distress. Claims of mirror entities and time loops are noted. Further evaluation required. The media caught wind of the story. Headlines read, Urban Explorer's Nightmare. Asylum visit ends in tragedy. Public interest surged, and with it, the curiosity of thrill seekers. Enter Alex and Jordan, hosts of the popular YouTube channel Urban Legends Uncovered. Known for debunking myths and exploring haunted locales, they saw Ridgewell as the ultimate challenge. Alex on camera. Today we're diving into the infamous Ridgewell Asylum. Let's separate fact from fiction. Equipped with state-of-the-art gear and skepticism, they ventured into the asylum. The building stood as a decaying monument to forgotten horrors. Graffiti adorned the walls, and the air was thick with mildew and something else. Their initial exploration yielded nothing unusual. Broken furniture, scattered documents, the typical remnants of abandonment. But as night fell, their equipment began to malfunction. Batteries drained inexplicably, and their live stream cut out. Jordan whispering. "Did you hear that?" It sounded like whispering. They followed the sound to a corridor lined with mirrors. Each reflection seemed off, delayed, or distorted. One mirror, in particular, drew their attention. Unlike the others, it was pristine, untouched by time. "Alex, this is odd. It's like the mirror is new." As they examined it, the temperature dropped. Their breath became visible, and the whispering intensified. "Jordan, Alex, your reflection, it's not moving with you." Panic set in. They turned to leave, but the corridor had changed. Doors that were once open were now sealed. The layout was unfamiliar, shifting. "Alex, this isn't right. We're not alone." Their footage, later recovered from a cloud backup, showed their descent into madness. Shadows moving independently, reflections acting on their own, and voices mimicking their own. The final moments were chilling. Alex stood before the pristine mirror, his reflection smiling as he screamed. Authorities found no trace of Alex or Jordan. The only evidence was the corrupted footage and a single note scrawled on the asylum wall. "Reflections remember." May, upon seeing the footage, broke her silence. I told them. The mirrors, they trap you. They learn you. And once they do, they don't let go." Now a new question arises. If reflections can mimic us perfectly, how do we know who has returned and who remains trapped?